Okay, this will be an interesting one. See if we can make this turn up a treat. I've done heaps of these before, I know. Let's see if we can make this turn up nice. Going at 400. I think 400's too, I don't know why, I just keep feeling it, my intuition's telling me to go at 400. Strange. Okay, let's see what we've got. We've got here a business tie. We're going to just photocopy pretty much that area. So that's the pattern there, nice. A nice looking stroboscopic pattern. We're going to slide it around at 400%. But it's a business tie. Who knows, a person who loved money was probably wearing this. One of the people I consider my enemies. Big businessman. Well, it's in an area where there's a lot of rich people. In the suburb, I think it was Neutral Bay where I got it. Second hand. I think it cost me very little. And we've got a really nice effect so far. Bit of colour there. Wondering if we're going to leave it like that. But basically it's a very stroboscopic piece. But basically, yeah, you just get the feeling someone big in business might have been wearing it. Someone that you could say is contemptible because they love money. And money has become a god of business for a very long time, and people just don't seem to have any concept of trying to do a good turn, to try and make a difference with the amount of money that they make. That if they're rich, they have the potential to really, really, really make a difference. And yet they choose not to. And I really don't understand why people are so greedy. You know, I mean, sure, if you're a person on a low wage, you've got to keep the money to yourself. But if you're rich and you can afford yachts and cars and fucking everything that you want, well, it's up to you. You've got the power to make a difference, and you can. And I just wish people who are rich could do that they could somehow be kind to the less fortunate people instead of snubbing them. You know, even when you go to the city and you see poor people begging on the street who've got nothing, and they probably don't even have a credit card or anything with their identity on it, and they're just relying on passers-by to throw them some coin or some note, some cash. And basically you don't see much in the way of business people helping those less fortunate ones. And there's so many business people in the city and they still just don't give. And I really just can't understand why they have to be so fucking greedy and so mean-spirited. And if it was in Christmas time, they would be hailed as Scrooges, who just don't care. I really wish I could make a difference, but one day I'm going to become a CEO of a future photocopier company. I'm going to build photocopiers that are made to last. Their lifespan will be around 60 years, with spare parts, consumables and service. instead of 5 years. And these equipments are going to be built mostly, whenever possible, out of recycled materials from places like China and India, where a lot of electronic waste or e-waste is dumped. And I really want to do that. And basically, one of the things I want to do, now that looks really nice. One of the things I want to do is give most of my money away. Another thing I want to do, apart from being a CEO, is to become a scientist and find solutions to problems like climate change, how to decontaminate nuclear waste, like in Fukushima and Chernobyl. And basically, I really want to make a difference. I'm just thirsting to do something for this world that'll really make it a happier and cleaner and greener place, hopefully for everyone. And I'm trying my best. I'm disabled currently. I had a cord around my neck and I came out feet first. I came out a breech birth. So I had a cord around my neck and I had the oxygen pulled from me. And basically I lost most of the functioning of much of the functioning of both my hippocampus and my short-term memory, which has led to problems with learning. And basically I look forward to bionic brain implants that'll help fix the damage so I can achieve these goals. And I have another disability that both these disabilities are not being diagnosed, so I have to get diagnosis. But I also think I have Asperger's syndrome, which is now called high functioning autism, which is responsible for my passion for photocopiers. While this is a social disability primarily, it's a powerhouse for my future. And for now. It helps keep me going, it helps keep me focused on trying to get on television to make a difference. So I'm really just longing to get my stuff out there. Now that looks interesting. So if it wasn't for this Asperger's syndrome, I wouldn't have enough passion and drive to do what I'm doing, folks. So I'm trying my best to use my talent whenever I can. And another thing to note about this future photocopier company is that the factory is going to be based in Australia. These photocopiers that we build are going to be built on Australian soil with Australian labour. And this Australian labour is going to be paid a proper wage, a full-on wage, not like made in China or made in Vietnam. A couple of examples of where machines like this are partially made. But basically, it's going to be made on Australian soil. We're going to make Australian jobs. The only thing that's not going to be Australian, I reiterate, is the raw materials coming from places like China and India, which need to be cleaned up of their fucking waste. I'm not interested in all this offshoring and cutting wage, having really low wages for the workers. The workers are going to be paid as an added incentive, more money, a little bit extra than what they are supposed to be paid. So they're going to get paid a little bit more of a proper wage, not slave labour. I'm not interested in working people to the bone just to add to my profit margin. That's greed. I don't want to know about greed in my fucking life. I'm not interested, folks. Greed can go fuck itself. Greed can go take a long walk off a short pier with a fucking slab of concrete tied to it. That's how I feel, folks. And I'm going to be a scientist, and it's going to be I'm going to make a real difference The amount of money I estimate that I'm going to pocket for myself will be just 5%. And I'm still going to be comfortable. I'm still going to be living in luxury, believe you me. But I'm not interested in overdoing luxury. Luxury has got to take has got to move to the side and not be the centre stage. We don't want greed, in other words. We don't want greed. And greed, I've repeated myself, sorry folks. This is not scripted, folks, so yeah. Anyway, this is looking really quite nice as a tie. It's a little bit crooked. It's just a little bit tricky trying to get it in nicely. This part is a little bit, I just nudged it, folks. Sorry. Get a bit frustrated when that happens. Just nudging it a bit out of place. Try my best to put it back, so just bear with me, folks. I'm really missing someone that I love, and that's Luigi. And I'm trying to get, because I know with him that's when my dreams can come true. You got to meet the right people. Anyway, that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.